swear, bro. I don't know if I'm about to be one of those guide YouTubers, but I feel like there's so much common sense missing from the Marvel Rivals community that like just making a video like this just makes sense. There are... Wait, hold up. I didn't see a name. What the dog doing? Thank you for the W. Follow. Go ahead and throw the V one time for me. But like I was saying, I feel like there's a lot of common sense lacking in the Marvel Rivals community, because a lot of people joining in this community haven't really played a hero shooter before, and they seen a free-to-play game with Marvel characters and said, ooh, cool, interesting, and that's how they joined up and started playing. They don't really understand the game. So one thing I need y'all to understand about this game is that there are 3 different classes in this game. There's the Vanguard class, the Duelist class, and the Strategist class. Usually in the community, we call the Vanguard class the tank class. That's what I'm going to refer to it as in the video. We call the Duelist class the DPS class or the Assassin class, depending on if you come from like a more MOBA, League of Legends type background, or if you come from a more hero shooter background, or Strategist. The fuck? I may have done goofed. All right. And then we usually call the Strategist class the healer class. Everybody calls that shit the healer class. But back to the app. I feel like a lot of people don't understand what the roles and what the characters in each class are meant for, because I'll see a lot of stuff where I'll say we need a tank, and first off, some fucking piece of shit human being picks Mr. Fantastic, or they'll pick double dive tank. Like, bro, if I say we need a tank, why are you on Venom and Captain America? Who's pushing the payload? So I just want to take a second to explain what the main role breakdowns are and give y'all some examples. And this gameplay in the background is just completely unrelated. It's just eye candy, so I'm not just sitting here boring talking. The first class I want to talk about is the Vanguard / the tank class. There are 3 types of tanks. There's aggression tanks, dive tanks, and push tanks. I'm gonna talk about each of them, and then I'm gonna give you examples and explain why. That's basically the way we're gonna go with this. That's the way this format is gonna work. Let's hop in. Aggression tanks are tanks that are meant to be in front of the payload, right? So actually, I might have to get MS Paint out. Do I even have MS Paint still installed? There we go. So boom, we're gonna do it like this. We're gonna put this on this side, and then nope, oh, because it's full screen, it doesn't count. So look, whenever you're playing a match in this game, here's the payload. This the payload. We're gonna put P for payload. Here's the payload. This is the direction the payload is going. This is where your healer should be. So like a mantis, a cloak, or whatever. This is about where your DPS should be, depending on whether they're a dive DPS or not. Let's say they're a DPS that's supposed to stay with the payload just for sake of conversation. There's a push tank that should be right here. So we're gonna put PU for push tank. And then there's aggression tank that should be in front of the payload. So whenever people on the enemy team are shooting and are trying to rush the payload, this is where the aggression tank should be. They should be in front of everybody and everything. The push tank right here, the PU, the push tank should be beside the payload, making sure that they're giving assistance to their DPS and to their healers. A great example of, and then dive tank, their job is to go on flank and dive into the enemy background and cause disruption. Either cause disruption, for example, Venom, he's good at just going in the enemy backline and just saying, hey, shoot at me, everybody, stop looking at the payload, shoot at me. And then when he gets low health, pop shield, throw his arm onto a wall, and he swing off, swing back to his team to get heals, and then cycle loop, restart it all over again. That's what a dive tank does, okay? So a dive tank shouldn't be anywhere near the payload at any time. For some examples though, a good example, 2 of the best examples in this game of dive tanks are 3 are Captain America, Venom, Hulk. Also another, oh wait, nope, needs to be on this side. Actually, we'll do it like this. Boom, and then I'll switch back and forth. Examples of dive tanks are Captain America, Venom, and Hulk. And one thing you're gonna see is that some characters have multiple roles, because the next type of tank I'm gonna talk about after dive is aggression tank, even though I was low-key supposed to talk about aggression tank first. Some great examples are Hulk, the Thing, and Thor. These are characters that are really supposed to play more so in the front line. They're supposed to stand in front, like I said, in front of the payload, in front of the push tank, and be the focus of all damage, be the focus of all aggression. Your job as an aggression tank is to put pressure on the enemy team. Your job as an aggression tank is to really make the enemy team scared. You want the enemy team to piss themselves anytime they think about going directly at the payload. You want them to try and go flank as much as you can and force them out of the middle and force you to make it so that they have to run into your DPS that are protecting your healers and your push tank that's also pushing the payload and working with the DPS to keep the healers alive so that they can stay alive. That is your job as aggression tank. Now, push tanks aren't solely characters with shields, but push tanks will always have a shield. So for example, great examples of push tanks are Magneto, Doctor Strange, Penny Parker. Their job really is to stand next to the payload and make the payload keep moving. Their job is to make it so that when people try and jump on your back line to try and beat up your healers that are sitting right there behind you, keeping you and the DPS alive, more so you than the DPS, the push tank's job is to make sure that that interaction is as scary as possible for any type of dive DPS or any straight on aggression that gets past or can fight with the aggression tank. Because remember, it's 6 people on a team. If it's 2 tanks, 2 DPS, that means this aggression tank can maybe fight 1 tank and a DPS or 2 DPS at a time. So they can do but so much. So some of those people are going to be able to not only shoot, but flank around and get past your aggression tank after they're being distracted to your push tank. That's where your push tank and your DPS kick in that are supposed to make that experience, like I said, as scary as possible for them to interact with your healers. The name of the game when you're playing as a tank is to play to the strength of your healers. When you're a tank, if you ever have to worry about your DPS, either your DPS are ass, which is usually the case, your DPS are ass and they're not doing enough damage, or you're in the wrong position for the character you're playing. Because what I see a lot of is people play Venom and they're walking next to the payload. If you want to walk next to the payload, play Magneto, play Penny Parker, play Venom. I mean, not Venom, excuse me. Play Penny Parker, play Magneto, play Doctor Strange. That's what those characters are meant to do. That's what those characters are for. I low-key should move my, no, not that. God damn it. It's not moving the right one. Face cam. Boom. So y'all can see that gameplay a little bit better. Actually, no. I'm going to put my head over here. Nope, that doesn't work either. So let's shrink that down. Put that right there. Boom, there you go. There you go. Now this looks like an ADHD TikTok low-key. But anyway, your push tank, like I said, their job is to make it as scary as possible to jump on the healers. Now, I said aggression, dive tank, push tank. Now, moving on to the DPS categories. Oh, actually, let me explain it on the reverse, okay? So on the reverse, you're to assume that these are the positions that people want to play in. As a dive tank, your job is to go in the back line and make the healers shake in their boots because they're scared and afraid of death. Wait, like, subscribe, which is something y'all should also do. Your job is to go in the back line and make the healers scared. Make it so that the healers get so scared of healing and doing damage and helping out the team with their aggression, with their push, that the DPS have to turn around or come back, or that the push tank has to peel to help them kneel you down, make you get to low health. And your job as a dive tank is whenever you get to low health, so let's say whenever you get to about 200-300 health, to know either pop shield and run away. Okay, if you're Captain America, hold shield, back up, fucking what's that? Do the fair run away? Use your speed mode, fearless leap out the cut. Go to your healers, get healed, and rotate around and cycle around and do the same thing. When you're pushing the payload, when you're trying to stop the payload, I should say, to make it more clear. When you're trying to stop the payload, when you're trying to make the payload stay in place and stall as a dive tank, whenever you dive the back line, this is who you focus. You should not be diving no damn DPS. There are multiple DPS that as a dive tank are designed to beat your ass. For example, Bucky and Wolverine. Their designs are that if you try and dive the back line, they can basically combo you and get you up out of here and put you in a casket. That's their whole job. That's their entire job. So you should not be trying to dive the Bucky on the enemy team. You should not be trying to dive the Namor on the enemy team. That's designed to be as annoying as possible to protect the backline. You should not be doing that as a dive. You should be trying to beat the shit out of Mantis. You should be trying to beat the shit out of Adam Warlock. You should be trying to beat the shit out of Rocket. Although it's kind of easy to beat the shit out of Rocket because all Rocket players do is run away and throw Beacon in the middle of the lane so that as soon as one of their teammates get revived, they die instantly. I don't know what the fuck it is, but like No Damage Rocket has done irreparable damage to the community because that nigga is so good. He's bringing the win rate up so high that trash ass niggas think Rocket is the answer to the fact that they fucking suck. No, nigga, you suck. You suck. Next season, that win rate will be dramatically lower. Niggas are terrible with Rocket, but Rocket hate aside, when you're a dive tank, that's your job. To beat the dog shit out the healers. Same thing when you're an aggression tank. When you're an aggression tank, if the healers are too far pushed up. So let's say instead of the healers being back here where they're supposed to be, the healers are on some dumb shit and they're beside the push tank or in front of the push tank. A healer should never be here. So you, as an aggression tank, let's say instead of this being aggression, let's say instead of this being this team's aggression tank, this is you. Let's say this is you and you're the aggression tank and there's no healer right here, right? Wait, let me change the red. Let's say the healer's not right here because they're busy being over here. Your job is not to attack the push tank first. No. Your job is to attack the healer first. Then, after you get the healer out of the paint, after the healer has a red X over them, they only have one healer right here. Then you attack the push tank. Okay? This seems like a simple concept, but as much as I see people not do this, and ranked is fucking crazy. Whenever you're defending, whenever you're trying to stop the enemy team, you should quite literally never be playing push tank. I'm gonna be real. When you're trying to stop the payload, I shouldn't see Doctor Strange. When you're trying to stop the payload, if there's no wand on the team, I shouldn't see Magneto. Because Magneto with that damn sword, he is good enough to be able to play very defensively and draw a lot of attention and soak up a lot of damage, a lot of damage. But on payload stop, not payload push, when they're trying to stop the payload, stall it, make sure it doesn't move, shouldn't be seeing that. I shouldn't be seeing that. Now, to go on to the next category. Oh wait, no. Go Y. To go on to the next category, DPS. There are 4 kinds of DPS. Dive, tank bully, rangers, which encompasses a lot of things. So like the characters that fly and shoot from a distance, the hit scan, the snipers, the backliners like Squirrel Girl and Namor and stuff like that. Those are like the ranger type characters that encompasses all of those. And then there's a flanker character. Now, I'm gonna have to get a little bit more detailed with this. So how do I zoom out? Control Z. Zoom in some. Go right here. Zoom in more. Go in the middle. So boom. Oh wait, nope. No. So boom. This is the payload. This is where the healers should be. They should be behind everybody. This is where the DPS should be. They should be besides the payload. The payload is going this way. Push tank should be here. So PUSH. And then aggression tank should be here. Right? Now, this is the basic layout. Wait. I need more space above. Boom, there we go. This is the basic layout of how a payload push, a payload move should be doing. Now, I understand that in domination, things are a little bit different, but honestly, if you understand how to play this mode, domination, conquest, and all that other shit is like 10 times easier than playing this mode. So if you understand how all the roles work properly in this mode, it gets easier from here. Like I was saying though, as a dive tank, all right, I'm gonna explain the roles and give some examples, and I'm gonna go through it that way. So a dive DPS, your job is when you're trying to stop the payload, or even when you're trying to push the payload, your job is, again, same thing as a dive tank. Go in the back line and cause disruption, cause people to look over at you. But instead of like a tank, just purely causing disruption by being a distraction, as a dive DPS, your job is to go in the back line, and you see how they have 2 healers right now? Go in the back line, now they only have 1 healer. As a dive DPS, your job is to go in the back line, kill 1 healer, and dip. Cause it's a lot of dive DPS I see that get greedy and they try and get a double, triple kill. No, you know why? Tremble before Bass, whatever the actual name of that move is. You know why that move sucks? You know why that move isn't good? Because a lot of people try and use that to kill 3 and 4, 5 people. No, that move is supposed to be stupidly strong so that you can kill 1 or 2 people max at most. That's how that move is supposed to be used. You're supposed to use Tremble Before Bass, and instead of killing 1 healer, you kill 2. Because your dash is constantly refreshing, you use Tremble Before Bass and turn 2 dash refreshes into 3. That's the way the move is supposed to be used. Alright? So again, let me repeat myself. As a dive DPS, your job is to go in the back line and cause disruption by saying, I notice you got 2 healers back here. Now you have 1. I pop out when I run in, I get rid of you, I dash out, go away, hide, go get heals, whatever. Wait till my cooldowns come back. And when I go back, now that healer, instead of being right here, they're right here because they're coming back from spawn. They have to go get right back in a position over here. So instead of a healer being right here, now they're down a healer. Now they're down 1 healer. You know what you're supposed to do in that time? You're supposed to come through, slap out this healer. So now that this healer just went and got back, now the other healer is right here. Now at all times, they're trying to push a payload with basically 1 healer because you keep dicking down and deviously dominating their healer so that now they always got a healer walking from spawn. That's what a good dive DPS does. Now, a tank bully, it's harder to recognize characters that are tank bullies, so I'm gonna start off with some examples. Just for examples of dive characters, I already mentioned Black Panther. They kind of changed Iron Fist, but he still works as a dive. Magic is a good example of a dive. Psylocke, Scarlet Witch, Spider-Man, Wolverine. Those are all great examples of dive characters. Now, with tank bullies, I would say there are 2 characters in the game that are dedicated to being tank bullies, but there are other characters that I would consider like tank bullies as well. Wolverine and Winter Soldier are dedicated to tank bullies. Their whole moveset is designed around saying fuck you to tanks at all times and making tanks shiver in their timbers. But other characters that can be tank bullies are Punisher, Squirrel Girl, and Iron Fist. Those are great examples of characters whose whole purpose in design is to bully tanks and make them feel bad, man, and make them with their big ass health bar go, I don't know, bro, my health bar say 500, but that shit feeling like 2 right now. I'm feeling kind of squishy. All right, that's the job of a tank bully. So what a tank bully does, just to give you like a visual example, let's say the tank bully is right here, right? Let's say their aggression tank is going head to head. So their aggression tank and your aggression tank are both fighting, right? Your job as a tank bully is to either be right here beside them, helping them aggress the aggression tank, or your job is to be right here behind them to basically yoink them out of place with like some type of boop or pull or stun or whatever the fuck. Your job is to either stun them or get them to get out of position. So now the aggression tank, now that even though they're fighting, they're basically out of the battle because they're going back and forth with their tank. They're getting healed like a motherfucker. This tank is getting healed like a motherfucker. They're basically, these two tanks are basically not in a battle whenever they go head to head, right? Your job as a tank bully is to change that situation from this is basically down one tank to you, the tank bully, and the aggression tank are focusing this one tank to effectively take them out of battle to where now they're all the way over here at spawn. They got to come back and try and get back in a position over here. And in that meantime, while one tank is down, you have an aggression tank and a tank bully. Guess who that leaves wide open? The push tank. Now your aggression tank can go and help you bully the push tank, get them the fuck out of the picture. Now it's just DPS and healers left on point, and that's not as good as having a tank on point to help you beat their ass. That's what the job of a tank bully is, because I see a lot of people try and pick tank bully and go off and fight a tank by themselves. Like, yes, Bucky does high damage, yes, Wolverine does higher damage to tanks, but that's supposed to be in addition to fighting a tank. That's why he has to team up with Hulk, because the way that Hulk is supposed to work and the way that the thing are supposed to work with the team up is they throw in Wolverine, he starts getting aggressive, and then here come Hulk stumbling behind him, or here come Mr. Clobber running behind him and showing them here's the thing. Yeah, I like how I slipped that in there off the top of my domski. Took y'all a second. It took y'all a second. Y'all probably had to rewind the video and go. Say that again? But anyway, the job of a tank bully is to not go out at it on their own and be a lone wolf. The job of a tank bully is to stand next to the tank and help the tank beat up whoever the fuck they're fighting. Because a lot of the times, whenever two aggression tanks, like I said, are fighting, it's basically a stalemate. You basically are down a person and you're fighting a 5v5 essentially. But if a tank bully is standing next to that tank and they're saying, hey tank, get out of position, or they're saying, hey tank, you're now stunned, get your ass beat. Now instead of going back and forth, instead of trading blows, now you're just straight up losing. You're losing time, you're losing health. Now one of the healers have to come out of position from being all the way back here behind the payload. They have to come up here to heal the aggression tank. And you know what that does? That puts a what did I say? Oh wait, no, that's too much. That takes a healer out of position, because instead of a healer being back here where they're supposed to be, they now have to sit here and babysit this aggression tank in a tank off situation. That's not gonna work if you have a tank bully, because your healer should also be behind you, healing you as an aggression tank. Nope, Joe, that's too far back. The next one I want to add is like a ranger, which, like I said, all of the flying characters I would consider rangers. So, and then just a lot of characters in this game count as rangers. And like I said, this goes back to that thing of how I said a lot of characters are in multiple classes. So some good examples of rangers, range characters are Hela, Hawkeye, Iron Man, Mr. Fantastic is more of a tank bully, but I'll count him partially as a ranger. Namor, not Psylocke, nah. Squirrel Girl. So those are characters whose main job is to sit either with the back line right here or next to the tank right here and throw out a bunch of damage to the enemy team, which is all right here. The enemy team is right here, whether it be the aggression tank, the tank bully, whatever, whoever the fuck it is on the enemy team. Their job is to throw a bunch of damage over here into this area and make it as scary as possible to be anywhere in here. You see how this is the red zone? You see how the black line is where the enemy's at and the red line is where the damage is at? The enemy should be afraid to approach you because the DPS are throwing out so much damage from a long range that it's getting spooky out this bitch. Even if it's not a day in October, it's getting spooky out this bitch. It's getting spooky. It's getting spooky. That's how it should be. That's how it should be. It's getting spooky over here. And I mean that's pretty simple to say, because like a lot of the ranged characters specialize in different things, but their main job is to throw out damage at a distance. For example, Hela's main job is to try and like sit down flyers. So if you're playing a flyer, Hela can hit scan, click on you, and you die. Versus like Iron Man, his job is throwing out a lot of damage in a very big area, not necessarily focusing on kills, but throwing a lot of damage in a big area that makes people scared to stand in the position they're supposed to stand. Whereas another character like Squirrel Girl, her job, because a lot of people swear to God that Squirrel Girl's is a purposeless character, but what I would say is a lot of y'all don't realize that Squirrel Girl's main purpose is to destroy deployables. So if Penny has spider mines and you have a Squirrel Girl on your team, if you're the nigga that can't aim and you're playing Squirrel Girl, it's your job to take out spider mines, Squirrel Girl. It's your job to take down group walls. It's your job to one-shot onks. It's your job to kill the damn squids. If you're playing Squirrel Girl, there shouldn't be any deployables from the enemy team on the field ever. You have two double jumps that send you high as fuck. Get on the perch, destroy the damn spider mines. Every time I turn a fucking corner as a dive, Spider-Man's going. Them bitches crawling towards me like Zayna Bear. Every 5 seconds. Squirrel Girl, shoot the goddamn mines. That could also be the job of a character like Hela, Hawkeye. Nothing is Black Widow's job. That bitch sucks. Human Torch, characters like that. Those are like characters that are primarily rangers that should be destroying any type of deployables. Okay? And for the next type of character, I want to call them a flanker. Now, it's sad that I have to say this, but apparently there are a lot of people that don't understand what a flank is, and I'm gonna give you the simplified version. You see how the main way to get to the point is straight to it? Wait, hold up, that's black. The main way to get to the point is to walk straight to the point down the main pathway. Well, what if I tell you that instead of you tunnel visioning and thinking maps are designed like this and a payload goes straight down the road, or maybe there's a little crook, like maybe instead of going exactly straight, the path is a little bit homosexual and it curves a little bit, right? What if instead of thinking of pathways like that, you think of pathways like this? It goes right here, boom, there's a doorway right here. It goes right here, boom, it's straight on this side, but over here, I'll draw it in, I don't know, blue. Over here, this section where the blue is at, that's where there's a sniper's perch, or that's where there's a high area. Like for example, in this footage, above me, you may see that this is the main pathway that the goats may have to go to with the tapping device to go to Yggdrasil. You may think this is the main pathway, but if you look up there, there's a doorway up, there's a sniper's perch up there. If you look right here, that area is also a sniper's perch. That's a place for a ranged character to get high, or a flank character to get in a high position and throw down damage at the enemy team. So when you think of maps, stop thinking of it as in a straight road, a straight path. Understand that there's a lot of alternate pathways. Like look, you see how he just went in that door? That door leads, if you go inside and go around, to this door. It leads to this door. It leads to this door. So don't think of pathways as straight. The reason why I'm mentioning all of this is because the job of a flank character is to go to what are called off angles, which are places that are hard, that are easy to shoot from and easy to hide behind, but hard to shoot at because you have something to hide behind. What you're supposed to do is go to off angles and throw out damage. So for example, this is where that's blue. This is where the main part of your team is at, right? This is the main part of your team, your aggression tank, your tank bullies, your rangers, blah, blah, blah. Your main part of your team, they're going straight at the payload. They're bumping their head against the wall. They're basically 1v1ing the team. Your job as, I don't know, a fucking, because most of you niggas can't aim, your job as a Moon Knight player is to say, okay, all of my team is here. Let me go around to this flank spot right here. Oh wait, that's way too bright. I don't fucking know. Let's go with purple. I don't know. Fuck. That's a good color. Yeah, purple. Your job as a Moon Knight player. What the fuck? It didn't even switch. Your job as a Moon Knight player is to go. No, I gotta use red. I gotta use red. To go over to this spot that I'm on. You know what? Just use a fucking arrow. Your job is to go to that spot there and throw out damage over here. So this whole area should be full of damage, full of damage, full of damage. You should make the tanks go. You should make the, I mean, not the tanks, excuse me. Excuse my pardon me. Your job when you go on the flank over here throwing damage in this whole area should be to make the DPS go, oh shit, to make them get scared, make their mouse go around the screen and turn their focus from being in this area, turn their focus from throwing damage over here to now throwing damage over here, so that your team and the front basically have an easier fight. And your job is to hide, peek through that off angle, poke and prod, so that they are now not focused on the main battle that they're supposed to be, that's in front of them. That's the job of a flanker. So I don't want to see any more walk them down Wandas in the middle of the lane shooting at Doctor Strange. I don't want to see any more Moon Knight throwing an onk at his feet, standing right, Moon Knight throwing an onk at his feet, standing right here in front of the aggression tank. No, I don't want to see that. Fucking shitty ass auto aim character. Y'all niggas play an auto aim character and y'all suck at it. But this supposed to be an educational video, so we ain't gonna get on that. Great examples of characters that take flanks, and a lot of this overlaps with dive characters, but like I said, now some characters fulfill more than one archetype and some characters are hard stuck in their archetype. Good examples of flank characters are Star-Lord, Scarlet Witch, Moon Knight, Namor, Iron Fist. And one of the defining traits of flank characters is usually they only have one mode, one sense of mobility, because their job as a flank character isn't supposed to be able to move around all the time. Their job is supposed to be to walk around to flank, not use their movement abilities to get to flank. Their job is to walk around to flank, and the second that they're in danger, the second that they're in threat, they play like a bitch ass Moon Knight player and double jump, hop away, and leave out as soon as trouble starts a knocking. That's the job of a flank character. That is their sole and only purpose. And then on top of that, if you got a flank character along with a DPS, along with a dive character, whether it's a dive DPS or a dive tank, shit, you'll delete a nigga backline. And then on to healers. So now, keeping in mind everything I said, there are two types of healers. There are pocket healers and battle healers. Two kinds. There's no healer that leans in the middle. There's no healer that's one, a mix of the other. There's two kinds of healers. Pocket healers, who are mostly meant to focus on healing, keeping the tanks up, making sure that any dive DPS and dive DPS get healed up as quick as possible so they can go back to fighting and causing disruption in that backline as quick as possible yet again. Okay? Pocket healers are characters such as Jeff. Characters like, I'll say Jeff, Cloak and Dagger, and Rocket Raccoon. Those are characters who are really just meant to sit in the back and spam heal. Now, that shouldn't be the only thing you're doing. You should shoot. Also, by the way, if you use Rocket Raccoon and you're not somebody like No Damage Rocket, somebody who actually knows how to use the fucking character, I wish you would stub your toe on a table, bro. I wish you would stub your toe and piss yourself in front of your crush. I hope that the next time you go to get a game out of a game case, the disc is cracked before you even open it. Once you buy that bitch out the store, you open it up and the disc is already fucking cracked. And it's a store that don't accept returns under any circumstance. Going back to what I was saying, though, back to point. Pocket healers, their job is to make sure that the push tank stays up. Oh, wait, no. Their job is to throw heals constantly to the push tank. Their job is anytime the DPS get damage thrown at them by a flank character from over here, their job is to throw some heals at them so that this flank character gets scared and says, oh shit, I'm not doing any damage. Fly away! And they basically have to run away back to their little hidey hole like a bitch. That's your job as a healer. That as a pocket healer. Your job is to mostly hard focus on healing. Now, a battle healer, what they do is instead of being right here, a battle healer plays beside the DPS, and in every context, they are behind the tank. Because there's too many times where instead of being beside the DPS, I'll catch a fucking mantis up here trying to go 29-1. No, nigga, that's how you go 6-17. A battle healer plays beside the DPS. In every context, a battle healer is beside the tank. Now, what a battle healer's primary job is to, in addition to throwing out damage, they're also supposed to try and help keep the team up while they're helping throw out the damage. So instead of thinking of them as a healer that can DPS, think of them as, instead of thinking them as a I said that right. Instead of thinking of them as a healer that can DPS, think of them as a DPS that can heal. Some great examples of this are, I know Mantis, in my opinion, is the best battle healer in the game if you can aim. Adam Warlock, Invisible Woman, Loki, Luna Snow. Now, with all of these characters, you can both play pocket healer and battle healer, except Rocket, because Rocket players, it's like when they go and pick Rocket, it's like they disable the right click and they just unbind it, period. Because all the motherfuckers do is just yellow orb, yellow orb, yellow orb, yellow orb, yellow orb. Enjoy the amplifier! No, I'm not enjoying the amplifier. I'm not. How about you amplify the team's ability to fight by picking a character with a defensive ult? How about you amplify the healing, pussy? How about you de-amplify the volume of the files of this game on your hard drive by deleting it? Amplify that, nigga. Anyway, again, anger for bitch ass, pussy ass Rocket main sinking my ELO by being fucking trash. Also, now that we're on this, for everybody that plays competitive, on your team, it is best to have 2 defensive ultimates. Not only is it good to have 2 defensive ultimates, but it is good to have at least 1. It is possible to win with 1 defensive ultimate, but you gotta sit on that bitch a lot, or you gotta be a pocket healer that's constantly getting it. Excuse me, that's constantly getting your ultimate. So, for example, if you see that the other person on your team essentially doesn't give a fuck about the match and they pick Rocket, you shouldn't be picking Jeff after them. You should be picking either Invisible Woman, Cloak and Dagger, Luna Snow. 1 second, gotta move my alarm. You should be picking Adam Warlock, Cloak and Dagger, Invisible Woman, Luna Snow, or Mantis. Now, not even in my opinion, the factual best defensive ultimate in this game is Luna Snow. That's why the best combo in this game competitively, in my opinion, for specific character compositions are Luna Snow and Loki. Because Luna Snow can use her ult, then Loki can get ult, copy Luna Snow's ult, and then boom. Now you got 2 Luna Snow ults, either back to back, or you just got 2 Luna Snow ults in the tuck, because Luna Snow ult, Loki can copy Luna Snow's ult, 2 ults. But in terms of like in general, period, like all of these characters can be played as pocket healers, except for this nigga Adam Warlock. That's just not gonna happen because his heals are very strong, so they're on a cooldown and in stupid ass soul bond. So like, I just wanted to make this guide because I noticed there are a lot of people, like I said, that play, and not only competitive but also quick play. Quick play, I could forgive it more so because quick play is supposed to be just, you're playing the game just to play the game. You like the idea of the game. I want to play as Spider-Man. That's where you motherfucking Spider-Man mains that go 2-79 every match. I don't even know how the fuck you died 79 times in a single match. All you motherfuckers that go 2-79, Spider-Man, that's where you're supposed to stay in quick play. But in competitive, first off, if you pick Rocket, you're a bitch. Matter of fact, if you pick Rocket, I hope when you wake up this morning, you wake up to your leg being broken. No explanation. You wake up to your leg being broken, your fucking feet are cold, and either your ovaries or your testicles, they just burst semen all inside your body. Now you gotta walk around with the realization that you're never gonna stop hearing "Ayo," because when people ask you why you walking funny, you gotta say, well, it's semen all inside of me. All day you gotta hear niggas say, "Hey, yo!" And psh, I don't care if you gay. If a nigga say he can't walk because he got semen inside of him, I'ma say, hey, yo, give a fuck if it's June, if you're gay, bisexual, nigga, non-binary, none of that. Hey, yo, Pindy. But I don't even know how I got to that topic. But back to my main point. It's a lot of people I see that don't understand the basics of this game. And like I said, I know a lot of people playing this game aren't coming from Overwatch. There's a good portion of Overwatch players are coming over to this game. I need all of y'all to come over here and stop supporting bitch ass Blizzard, fucking Sexual Assault Studios. That's what I need y'all to do. Stop supporting Sexual Assault Studios. But a lot of people who are playing this game, this is their first hero shooter. They've never played TF2. They've never played Overwatch. They've never played Battleborn. They never played none of that shit. So I'm basically here trying to give you an idea of how to play this game, how to play your character properly. Now, if y'all want more in-depth guides of how the characters work, like let's say for example, you're too stupid to know that Namor's job is to mostly deal with flying characters and backliners, and you want a more specific guide about that, about what these characters specifically do, let me know. But at minimum, if you got this far in the fucking video and you didn't like, stop being a hater, man. Help a nigga out, show some support, show some love. You watch this full video full of creativity and full of energy, and you didn't hit like by now, come on nigga, stop hating. Stop fucking hating. That being said, I'm about to stop yapping and play some Marvel Rivals on my Twitch. For those of y'all in here live, just reload the stream and you'll still be here while I'm playing the game.